So guys, Siargao is opening its borders to tourists again. So this is a very timely video for all of the travel requirements going to Siargao Islands. Hi guys! We're going to talk about the Siargao travel requirements during new normal. So before we start, please don't forget to subscribe. So of course, first thing to have is for you to book a flight going to Siargao Island. So it's either a direct flight that is around 2 hours to 10 to 15 minutes, or a non-direct flight wherein you will have a stopover in Cebu. And most of the time, looking at the booking page, you will have to stay in Cebu for almost 4 to 5 hours. So we traveled during pandemic, so we opted for a direct flight since if you're going to have a Cebu connecting flight, you have to stay in the airport. So the more probability for you to mingle around different people. Second would be your hotel accommodation. So you need a confirmed booking to any DOT accredited accommodation in Siargao, and I'm going to show you the list of those hotels. So these are the DOT accredited accommodation establishments in Siargao. You can actually see this in their Facebook page. You can just check all of the information, and you have to make sure that it is at least 2 nights because that is the requirement of Siargao's LGU. So on our end, we stayed in Bravo and Lemari because of the internet connection. So I actually talked about everything about internet connection in my recent video. I'm going to share the link below in the description box. So if ever that you are someone who would like to stay in Siargao indefinitely and planning to work from home or work from the island, so that video is really for you. So please check that out. So on our end, we stayed at Bravo Beach Resort in Siargao. So for our Bravo accommodation, we book our stay through their website. Since hindi ko siya makita via Agoda, Booking.com, and any other platform, it's just very easy, and just like other hotels, it's rebookable naman if ever that bigla na magbago yung restrictions. So another hotel that we stayed in Siargao is Lamari Siargao, and we booked it through Agoda. We only got it for 3,300 for 3 people, free breakfast na. So as long as your hotel or accommodation is included in the list, then you are good. Please don't forget at least 2 nights, okay? Another requirement is your valid ID. 1 or 2 will be okay, as long as it is the same name in your flight booking. So the next one is the most important, which is the negative COVID test results. So in Siargao, either you can proceed with an RT-PCR test, or you can opt for a much affordable test, which is the saliva test. We opted for a saliva test, so that actually costs 2,000 pesos per person. We book our schedule through Red Cross website. For RT-PCR, Red Cross also is doing that service, but that costs around 3,500 up to 5,000. So it's up to you on whatever you wanted to do in terms of the COVID test. So there are a few things that you have to consider. First is of course the time of your arrival. Second is the time of approval of the SIARGAO'S LGU. So from our end, we submitted our requirements July 20. Our flight is July 21st. So medyo very short interval na lang yung time. And you have to remember the SIARGAO LGU is working on government hours or government operating hours rather. Kasi on my end, I thought parang same shift kami, like 24 hours. But what's really good is you can actually call them right after you send the email so they can process your application in the timely manner. So they do have their system wherein they know the flight details, so they know what plane or what is the time and date of Cebu Pacific, for example, so they can actually prioritize. Next requirement would be the SIARGAO'S eHealth Pass, and you just have to go to this website link, sign up if you haven't, and make sure that you download your QR codes. Now, what is the last step for you? So everything is good. You have already booked your hotels, you already have the flights and everything. Now, what you have to make sure is you send the requirements, all of this, to this email address. That is the email address of SIARGAO'S Tourism, wherein they will have to validate all of your information and they will provide an approval via email. So SIARGAO LGU will send a reply to that email address that you use. On our end, they just mentioned approve and you're good to go. So again, make sure that you consider the timing, the time of their approval and everything. So once the LGU of SIARGAO has already approved your email, you're good to go. Please make sure that you bring all of your requirements on the time of your flight because Cebu Pacific staff will also check your requirements alongside with approval of the LGU. Okay? Just a very quick note that these requirements are for walk-in tourists in SIARGAO. There are different requirements if you are invited by a local. There is a different requirements if you are a returning resident of the province. So that's it. It's very very short, but I hope that is very helpful, especially for those who wanted to visit the island. So please make sure that you read all of the restrictions, the I don't know what to call it, the alert level 1 2 3 4, which is the ECQ version 2. Have a safe flight and enjoy. Thank you again for watching. See you in SIARGAO. So if you have more information that you need, you can just message SIARGAO Tourism Assistance Center in Facebook.